Hi guys, you're listening to Uncomfortable with Nash again. Today I've got a super special surprise. It's a guest. Say hi, Tamuka.
Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time because this is a topic that requires another perspective, another view. This cannot be one-sided at all. So today we are talking about body count. The question is, does it matter? Right. Before we get into it, I would like to give you like a brief background to what inspired this topic because it's actually quite infuriating. So someone whose name I shall not name, but if he listens to this, you'll know who you are, posted some long thing about how body count matters. And he was directing this to men, right? Saying, young kings, don't play yourselves and go and pay 100K for lobola for someone who's got a body count of 33 plus. Wow. Respect yourself and stuff. Okay, cool, right? So it took a left turn when I asked, what about men? What about their body count? And he said, that doesn't matter. And I'm like, how so? And he said, it's because it's a known fact. I didn't know this fact, but it's a known fact that women are attracted to men who've got experience or whatever, basically to imply that someone who's been around the block. And it doesn't really matter when it comes to them, the whole body count thing. But a woman's body count must be very, very low. And I'm asking, so how low is very low? And he said 3 serious relationships and no one-night stands. Here's the problem for me. Seeing as men are allowed to fuck around and have a body count that is like skyrocketing, yet women can't, who are they fucking around with? The women that they're busy messing around with, like, do they not apply? That's what I want to know. So I've brought on, I don't know what to call you, but you're an expert in something. I just like how you put your point across, Tamuka, so that we can have like another view to what was said. So what do you have to say to this whole does body count matter? I want you to give me an answer and then explain. Yes or no? Does it matter?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Yeah, definitely. Just to like the quick short answer, yes. Here's why. The stuff men and women value are different. Your friend that had that post that he put up, based on how you said it, I can imagine when you read it, you were like, No, you're like, what am I seeing? But the way he put it across, I can understand it's infuriating, but nonetheless, it's still true. Why it's true? Body count matters is because what men value and what women value are different. For example, with women of today, usually when you ask someone, what do you bring to the table? I'm sure everyone has heard something along those lines. Usually what you find women bringing to the table, it's like, oh yeah, I have a good job, I have a car, I have a good salary, good head on my shoulders. I'm like, with all due respect to a man, he's not looking at that the first thing when he's looking at you. Your value to him is your body. Because the reason a man is approaching you is because he's attracted to you. Any man that says, oh, I first approached you because you were so intellectual, I loved your personality. First of all, that's a lie, because first impressions matter. There's a reason we're told dress well, because first impressions do matter, whether you realize it or not. He's approaching you because first thing he thought in his head was, damn, she's fine. You see, your looks bring you into the conversation. Your personality makes us stay. That's when we ask you to be the girlfriend, to be the wife. Okay. So body count matters. So remember that's going to be a very important point as we continue the conversation. Now, the guy sees you. He's like, wow, you are really gorgeous. And now he's getting to know you. Obviously, you're now chatting, you're both seeing with each other. Are you compatible with each other? Now you go to the conversation of body count with this gent. He, you bring up, and you're thinking, you know what, let me be honest with him. Let me tell him what my body count is. You go and say, my body count is 50 or 60. Some high number. You might think from the female perspective, it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't though.
Wait. You're thinking it from the female perspective. Think of it from the male perspective. 50. He's now thinking to himself, okay, wait. There were 50 men before me that managed to get access to your body for less. Now, for example, let's say you're telling me, now you're wanting to be serious for marriage. You're wanting to be serious, serious girlfriend. You don't want to have sex until you're in a serious relationship or until you're married. What he hears is basically, you want me to do more to get the same thing those guys got. You want me to be special, pay more than what these guys did. Why? That's what he's saying. It's not a fair deal. He's thinking to himself, 50 guys got you for less, but I have to do more. Why? It's not a good deal.
So you're telling me right now that if you meet someone who, you're attracted to, you're compatible with, this person is willing to go to the ends of the world for you. Like, you actually like this person. None of that is going to matter. You're going to disqualify her solely based on the fact that she slept with 50 or 60 men. What kind of logic is that, though? Honestly, it shouldn't matter.
No, you see, the thing is, you're saying it shouldn't matter, but we like what we like. Like, it is what it is. The same way with women like a guy that's tall, a guy that has money. We don't try fight against that. That's what you want. We can say, for example, the conversation often comes up about body shaming. Actually, I would actually say women tend to body shame men a lot more because women put great emphasis on height. I don't want to date a short guy. Something that he can't control. He can't control his height. But nobody ever brings it up about what you call body shaming when it comes about height. But we accept that as guys. We accept it. You don't want to date a broke man. Like Cardi B, broke boy don't deserve no pussy. I know that's right. Okay, fine. You're saying all this stuff and we understand this is what women want. So now the guy builds himself up to be the dream guy. Like, if you ask a woman, what do you want in a guy? She can come up with a whole list, a whole essay. The question I often ask her, I'm like, okay, fine, that dream guy you have, he's there. He has standards too. He is telling me, I don't want a high body count. I don't want you to weigh more than me. And I don't want you to have a child. But now if he has standards for himself, it's like, oh my God, how dare you? But I'm like, wait, what? Whoa. You have your standards. You don't want him to be short. You want him to have money, good personality, amazing in bed. He ticks all those boxes. He's your dream man. He has his standards too. That's why I often tell people, I'm like, are you becoming the person your dream partner would want? Are you worthy of the person you dream to be with?
Food for thought.
You see. So people often don't think like that. So going back to the issue of body count, with most men, I'm pretty sure most guys listening to this, we care about body count. Body count does matter. Body count simply does matter. So you go along the situation that, okay, body count matters. The guy you want, he wants to have a low body count. He hears your body count is high. He will smash you, but he will not commit to you. That's just the reality of the situation.
Okay, I want to ask though, right? So if a guy, my problem with this whole body count mattering to men, right, is that why the double standards? Why is it not going to matter to a guy or for a guy that his body count is high, but the girl he wants must have a low body count? You can't be, as TJae said, you can't want a freaking angel, Kanti, when you are the vice president of hell with your whorishness, horina. So why the double standards? Why are you going to expect your future partner, why are you going to hold her to a standard that you yourself can't uphold? See, that was the issue for me with the whole thing. It's when he said, see, had he explained it the way you did, like the way you're explaining it makes perfect sense. Like, I completely understand that. But why is he going to say it doesn't matter for men? It must just be the woman. Who told him that woman wants someone who's been around the block twice?
You see, with the guy that, like, at the beginning of the podcast, with what he was saying, personally, I don't agree with that, because I believe you need to hold each other to the standard you want your partner to be held to. I mean, if you're out here, if you're sleeping with everyone, left, right, and center, I mean, can you really be shocked that your partner has also slept with everyone left, right, and center? If you want a woman with a low body count, I always tell people, don't ask something of someone else that you can't ask of yourself. I think that's only fair. So for me, if I go to a girl and I say my body count is below 10, I'm well within my rights to ask if her body count is below 10. Well within my rights. But if my body count is 100, I'm saying I want a virgin. You see, now I sound like a hypocrite.
No, I completely understand you. I completely hear you. I remember you saying something though, something that made me like stop and think about, you know, as much as we can be pro sexuality, by the way, body count doesn't factor into that, but you know, progressive women, get your own, do yours, be equal to men and all that. You said something to the effect that at the end of the day, it's the guy that chooses to commit. And unfortunately, from way back in biblical times, right? Women, well, most, there's nothing new under the sun, but women would save themselves, because if a guy wants to smash, he needs to commit to you. He needs to bring the cows. That's the only way he would smash. And so now times have changed, but that mentality has still been passed down to this generation. So it's almost as though it's just the female side of the generation that's progressing and moving with it, but not the men's. Why y'all stuck there?
Okay. I remember this conversation. And
yeah, explain it to the people the way you did, because the way you did it. But I remember it was actually such a vital thing.
Oh yeah, no. Literally, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to marriage, from the olden days to the days of now, women control access to sex, men control access to relationships and marriage. You can find your dream guy. If he doesn't ask you out, you're not being his girlfriend. If he doesn't propose to you, you're not getting married. However, if he wants to have sex, he needs to ask for your permission. He needs consent. And the thing is, back in the day, the reason why marriage rates were so high back in the day is that for you to have sex before marriage was almost not possible. It was almost not possible, because in order for you to do that, you would have to get to a prostitute. You're not just going to get a normal girl, because most girls will be like, I'm saving myself for marriage. I'm saving myself for marriage. So if you're a fuckboy, for example, and you just want to hook up, you realize that I'm not really going to be able to hook up unless I commit to something. I have to commit. So this is why you'd find people getting married like at 19, 20, 21, because they realize that I can't just be hooking up and doing this stuff. But now in today's world, access to sex is easier than ever. Easier than ever. You can literally, on your phones, there's porn, there's Tinder, you can hook up culture is all the rage. And for you to actually get access to sex, you don't have to commit. That's why you find more and more people willing to enter 30s, even 40s, not having to commit. So it's a situation where you have to come with the times. And because of that, it's positives and negatives regarding that situation for both men and females. Because now, this is where you find people can truly waste your time. People can truly waste your time I'm sure girls will be listening to this. Oh yeah, initially he was so into me, then he smashed and then he ran away. Because he got what he wanted. Because he got what he wanted. That's the reality. It's not nice, but he got what he wanted. But back in the day, before he would smash, he would have to first meet your parents, meet your family, marry you in front of everyone. Then you get access to that. So
and you can't just bounce after that.
Exactly. So exactly. But now the guy can just tell you sweet nothings over a day or two, hit, ghost. So I mean, that's why, like, when it comes to body count, that also tells me, because if a body count is that high, that's also what I'm now think I'll probably be looking at the girl and saying, you probably don't make good decisions. Because if your body count is that high, you're trying to tell me so many men have finessed you into getting in your pants. So you see, you now begin to think, is there another issue? Is there some trauma? Is there some issues that I'm not
I don't like it when you say it like that. But so many men have finessed you into getting to your body. Like you said before, but we are the ones that control access to sex. So it didn't just miraculously or magically happen that you've got a body count of 60 plus. You chose that. Like you put yourself in that position. So don't make it seem like we were just being blind mice.
No. When I say finessed, the reason I say finessed is because it'll be a scenario where, let's be honest, with all the people that were over there, you find it's a situation where I would say with at least half or at least more, you are wanting the commitment. So you didn't get that commitment initially. So if you weren't able to get the commitment initially, that's where this is where you find it's like, oh, he wasted my time. He did ABC, he did this, he did that. But now when you find that if you were choosing to just hook up with him, then that's your choice. Like, you're not being finessed. But let's be real. With a lot of girls, I'm sure you know girls that have been like, oh, I really liked him, but then he ghosted me. You know? So the body count went up by 1, and it went up by 1 because of a guy that ghosted you. That's what I mean by finessed.
I feel you. Okay, we're approaching 20 minutes. I don't like my podcast to be longer than that. You made some really good points. Some really, really good points that we can't ignore. But I think in conclusion to this whole body count thing, yes, what I'm getting from you is, yes, you can have a high body count and whatnot. But as you always say, there's consequences to that. And if you are someone, unfortunately, who wants to maybe settle down and get married, I'm not saying this is always the case. Child, this is not always the case. I know a couple people that this was not the case for them. But if you do want to settle down, have a husband and a family and all that, you do have to make better decisions with keeping in mind that for your future, because it's gonna come up. But also another thing, it really isn't something that needs to be disclosed though. And also, girls can lie about that shit. So what is it that you think you have that'll enable you to know or to see through the bullshit? Say she really does like you, and you ask her that what her body count is, and she deducts that shit, divide by 2, minus 10 or whatever. How are you going to see through the bullshit?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, you will never truly know. Even the number she tells you, all you have to do is just take at face value. But you yourself, you will never truly know. You can just hope. I know it's some guys prefer not knowing, because like you said, they look at her and they be like, you know what? She is so awesome. She is so everything. I don't want to know, because I don't want to ruin that image or anything like that. I want to leave. Okay. Because some guys I know will say, I don't want to know. But then usually when it comes to the topic of body count, at the end of the day, it comes down to what the other gender values. Women value men for our resources. We value you for your bodies and your ability to raise children. That's why if you enter a room, let's say, for example, if I'm a doctor, I enter a room full of women and I announce to the women, oh yes, I'm a heart surgeon. The majority response will be like, ooh, he rich, he got money. But if a female doctor entered a room full of men and said, hi, I'm a heart surgeon. The initial response, wow, you're really smart. Hey, can I ask for your opinion on something? You see, it's a very different response. Those women are looking at me for the resources. That's why it's very normal to find guys that I'm sure you've even thought to yourself, you look at the guy and you think, he's not that handsome. Heck, he might even be short, but he's with a drop dead gorgeous woman. Because she's with him for his resources. All the time, exactly. She's with him for his resources. And he's with her for her boy. They both got what they wanted. Transaction complete. They're both happy. Let them live happy lives. He's getting the children he wants. She's helping him raise the kids. She's getting his resources, living in a nice house with a nice car. Everyone wins. So that's at the end of the day, with men, our value comes from our resources. Your value comes from your body. So which is why body count matters, because if your body has lost that value in our eyes, we will not take you seriously. We will just be like, if you have a body count of 100, we will be 101. Odds are, we're not going to commit. We could, like you said, there's some guys out there that say, you know what, babe, I still love you regardless if you've been 1,000 guys, whatever. But the reality is, and I'm willing to bet most guys listening agree with me, body count matters. Ideally, if your woman has a low body count, the better.